Namaste, everyone. Namaste, welcome.
Namaste.
Namaste, good morning.
Namaste, good morning.
Good morning. We're ready to start. So everyone, welcome. Welcome to the new year. Welcome to the first monthly meditation of the year from DSYM, Dr. Sahaj Yog Mission UK. And it is lovely to see you. Thanks for coming. Thanks for creating this group together for us to chant and meditate and go deeper into our own journey, into our connection with each other, in the divine presence and miracle that is this mantra, Hari Om Tat Sat, Jai Guru Datta. Most of you have been chanting for a while or a long time, and you are very familiar with the mantra, but we do have new people joining. They are joining all the time. And so a few words to say about this mantra for those of you who are new. The mantra is very simple mantra, and at the same time, one can go so deeply into this mantra whose effects seem to be never ending. The mantra is Hari Om Tat Sat Jai Guru Datta. And it's a sequence of words which, when they are chanted, they are infused already, inherent with the divine energy. And the effect of this mantra works on many levels. It works on the physical level, on the emotional level, on the energetic, mental, and spiritual level. And there is a transformative effect that takes place on all these different levels. And we've heard this from many people. Many of you here have shared this. There is a physical healing that is happening, that you're experiencing. Conditions are improving. Pain in the body is disappearing, reducing. Anxiety is getting reduced. Worries are disappearing. Life is easier to handle. There is less stress. The mind is getting balanced and calm, becoming more peaceful. And the spirit is uplifted. So there is a total coalescing of the mind, body, spirit that happens, and that we start to experience in day-to-day life. And we can go deeper in our community, communicating with ourselves, with each other, and communion in the divine energy. So it works on many different levels. The other point to share about the mantra, which is really uniquely brilliant, is that it is universal. So whatever your belief, whatever your faith, whatever your God, your guru, whatever your spiritual practice, whatever your non-spiritual practice, you just continue the way you are continuing with that, and use the mantra to enhance this, to supercharge it. So if you have a spiritual practice of chanting or doing bhajans or prayers, chant the mantra before and chant the mantra after, and it has this supercharging effect, which is then directly experienced. So it is for all faiths, all beliefs, all non-beliefs. And the simplest way to learn this, to know this, is to chant for 5 to 7 minutes and sit in silent meditation for 10 to 15 minutes. Nothing to do, simply to observe the breath or focus between the eyebrows and allow the natural meditation to happen, Sahaj Dhyan. So it's a little bit about the mantra, and of course we're chanting together today. And the other thing to say is that when we come together, the energy, the vibration is amplified exponentially. And so what we might be experiencing when we chant by ourselves, and compared to when we come together, that effect is huge. And we all then experience the benefit individually and as a group. And this expands outwards, and inner deeper. So thank you all for coming, and for us to create this together. We're very grateful. So the program today is, we'll start with the opening prayers led by Mukund Bhai. And then we'll lead into the pranayama, yoga breathing techniques by Jogendra Bhai. And then we are very, very pleased to welcome today a very heartwarming, inspiring lady speaker. She's a mental health activist and educator, Dr. Sangeeta Mahajan. And thank you for taking the time out to come and speak with us. We'll hear a bit more about her later. So that will be from roughly 11:30 to 12. And then after that, we will have a short few words from Chandrakantji Shukla. And then we'll continue with our chanting of the mantra. So everybody please chant from the deepest of your hearts. We will keep the microphone muted and the chanting will be led by Shilpa Ben. And then straight into silent meditation, Sahaj Dhyan. After that, the bell will sound and we will end with closing prayers, some announcements and Aarti. So if everyone can stay muted, but just take part, feel free to take part with all the chanting and every aspect of it. So now let's get ready and get completely comfortable. Settle the body, settle the mind in the presence of Guru. As we sit in total surrender and focus. And Mukund Bhai leads us with the opening prayers.
Thank you, Priya. Namaste, everyone. For the initial prayers, please kindly close your eyes gently. Be aware, be present in this moment. We'll start with 3 Omkars. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Punaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinam Vaditamasthuma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwara Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Akhanda Mandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tadapadam Darsitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Aganyana Timirandasya Jnananjanasalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। ध्यानमूलं गुरोर्मूर्तिम् पूजामूलं गुरोपदम् मन्त्रमूलं गुरोर्वाक्यम् मोक्षमूलं गुरो कृपा। ॐ ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिम् द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वदी साक्षिभूतम् भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं श्रीसद्गुरुं त्वं नमामि। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धो च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Namaste everyone.
Hey, Hari Om. Namaste. Jai Gurudat. The next program is Pranayam. Through the prayers, we have already brought ourselves to the conducive state of mind. Let's do the pranayam work to bring better flow of the prana in the body, bring the mind and body readiness and conducive to the mantra chanting and meditation session later. Please may I ask people who are sitting on a chair to shift to the back of your chair so that your lower back is just touching the lower backrest. Middle back and upper spine is relatively straight, making your head, neck, and spine one straight line. Not sternly, but softly. Shoulders are relaxed, arms are relaxed. Your hands can be held in Chin Mudra in this manner. Back of your hands to the knees or your palms onto your knees. Bring your awareness to the breath. Take up to 4 or 5 normal breaths. Make a note of how the normal breath is flowing right now. How the body naturally is breathing by itself. And then we'll bring this a little into our control. That's called ayam, pranayam. So if I can encourage you to breathe in towards your abdomen, in other words, deeper into the lower parts of the lungs. Continue that in-breath into the middle chest. Continue that breath into the upper chest. Lengthen your spine. Make the crown of your head a little higher. Maintain the posture, a straight spine, and then gently breathe out. So let's go again. We are dividing the in-breath into 3 parts, breathing into the abdomen, to the middle chest, to the upper chest, straightening the spine, lifting the chest, and then maintaining that posture, breathe out. Every time you breathe out, you will now find your abdominal muscles getting activated. So let's go again. 3-part breath in. Inhale, inhale, inhale. A long exhale. Inhale, inhale, inhale. A long exhale. Do that 3 more times by yourself. So remember, you're dividing the in-breath into 3 parts, pausing for a fraction of a second between each third of the breath you breathe in. At the top end of the breath, you're pausing a little longer and then maintaining straight spine, uplifted chest, you're breathing out a nice, gentle, long, smooth breath out. This is the simplest version of a breathing technique called Bhastrika. Doing this prepares you for Kapalabhati. But before we move into Kapalabhati practice, may I quickly remind people with any heart condition, surgeries in the heart in the past, or high blood pressure not maintained by medication to refrain from joining or doing Kapalabhati. Continue this 3-part breath in and long breath out while the others join me for the Kapalabhati. Remember, you should not have any heart conditions or high blood pressure not maintained by medication. Then you engage into Kapalabhati. Kapalabhati is a practice where you actively breathe out, contracting the abdominal muscles, pushing the air out from the base of the lungs, and the recoil of these muscles will help you breathe the next breath in. And you continue that in a rhythmatic manner. And you'll continue that to my grunting sounds so that we can all uniformly do the breathing out process. So preparing for the first round of Kapalabhati, take a deep breath in, a long breath out, and then enough breath in to start the round. Hunt, 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 to exhale completely. Draw the floor muscles in and up, abdominal muscles in to press the air out. Now take a gentle, deep, deep, deep breath in, followed by a gentle, long, long, long breath out. Refresh. Take another gentler, much gentler, deeper, much deeper breath in. And a gentle, long, long, long breath out. Now take a comfortable breath in to do a retention. Hold the breath and gently and softly lower your chin towards your chest without pressing it too hard. Keep your body absolutely, totally still. No movement whatsoever for a few moments. And then gently breathe out, lift your chin up. Remain here for a breath or two. And then we'll do a second round. So to prepare for the second round, which will be slightly longer round, take a deep breath in, long breath out, and then enough breath in to start the round. One, 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 1, 2. Exhale completely. Inhale deeply. Again, exhale completely. And then refresh. Take another gentler, much gentler, deeper breath in. And a gentler, much gentler, longer breath out. And then do the retention by taking a comfortable breath in and holding the breath. Gently and softly lowering the chin towards your chest and keeping the body absolutely, totally still for a few moments. Gently breathe out, raise your chin again. Remain here for a breath or two to observe how the breath, capacity of the breath is enhanced, how the freshness is felt each breath you breathe in, how you share the joy of being able to breathe in and out share it with the world by interacting in your daily life, being able to communicate better, better body language. And now we will move forward to do the alternate nostril breath. Please remain seated straight. Bring your right hand to form the Vishnu Mudra. I'll indicate with my left hand so you are on the same side of, you can see me as a mirror image. So this is the Vishnu Mudra. This is the Chin Mudra. Left hand in Chin Mudra, right hand in Vishnu Mudra, using the right hand thumb to close the right nostril, using the right hand two end fingers to close the left nostril. This is how we're going to operate the nostrils. Okay. So keep both hands on your knees. Take a deep breath in. Bring your right hand thumb to close the right nostril and gently breathe out from the left. Now inhale from the left. Close both sides briefly in this manner. Open the right, exhale right. Now inhale right. Close both sides briefly. Open left, exhale left. We'll start second round. Inhale left. Retain. Exhale right. Inhale right. Retain. Exhale left. Inhale left. Retain. Exhale right. Inhale right. Retain. Exhale left. Fourth round. Inhale left. Retain. Exhale right. Inhale right. Retain. Exhale left. Fifth and final round. Inhale left. Retain. Exhale right. Inhale right. Retain. Exhale left. Gently bring your right hand to the knee. Remain here for a few moments, observing the flow of air through the nostrils, the left and right. Affecting the right and left side of your brain, nicely balancing out and harmonizing the functioning of the body, left and right side, front and back, above and below, enhancing the prana levels in the body. Okay, let's proceed with the rest of the program. Thank you for being with me with the pranayam program.
Thank you, Jogendra Bhai. Jai Gurudat. Jai Gurudat and Happy New Year to everyone. We are privileged today to have Dr. Sangeeta Ben Mahajan with us. Sangeeta ji works at St. Thomas's Hospital for the past 15 years and has been in the medical profession for the last 28 years. Sangeeta Ben will be speaking to us about mental health related issues and the ways how to identify and seek help within this field. So thank you, Sangeeta ji. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me, for inviting me. And actually, such a great way to start the session with the opening prayers and pranayama. I feel so settled and I feel so connected with everybody in the group. Thank you very much for having me. It's a real privilege for me to be here. And a very happy new year to the whole community, to the whole world. I think this is being live streamed on YouTube, which is wonderful. I think these spiritual this is a great opportunity to actually enrich our spiritual lives, and you're taking this opportunity so beautifully. So congratulations to you. So I will talk for about maybe 20-25 minutes, and then we'll have questions for about 10 minutes. Today's topic, I've been asked to mainly talk about the importance of our mind. You know, we all know that we function in this world as a body-mind complex, although we are much, much more than that. But that is our functional existence, a human existence. And it is affected by many different things. So we will talk about the things that affect our minds. How, if it is negatively affected, how it shows itself up, and what are the protective factors, how we can look after our mind better, and where is the help available, how we can access that. So these are the main things we'll talk about. So like physical health, mental health, I'm just going to make a note of the time. Yeah. So like physical health, mental health goes up and down. You know, like we get a cold, We get a fever. Sometimes we may get hit we may fall down the stairs. Something can happen, and we might need a surgery. So our physical health goes up and down. In the winters, we don't feel as well physically because we don't move much. In the summers, we feel much brighter because there's sunshine, and that has an effect on our mind. So all of these things have an effect on our physical health, which we are very happy to talk about. We tell people we had this operation, we have diabetes, we have hypertension. But our mind also goes through ups and downs because of life events, like, a breakup of a relationship, maybe a job loss, maybe a loss in finances, maybe a child is ill, or, so our minds go up and down, up and down, up and down. And yet there is a certain hesitation in our minds to actually say that I'm not in a great place today. I'm not feeling good. And this hesitation comes because there is an expectation in the society that, oh, we all have bad days, it's all right, don't worry, just pull up your socks, chin up, come on, you can handle this. And, we tend to minimize our mental states. And we are not able to create space for other people to express themselves, and they are not able to create a space for us to express ourselves, because it's almost like not done. You're weak, if you're feeling this way. Others might think I'm weak, so I better not ask for help. So I think when it comes to your mind and your pain in the mind rather than the body, we can't freely express it. And that is not our individual responsibility. That is a responsibility, or that is a reflection of the society we live in. Laughing is great. Everybody, like they say, when you laugh, everybody laughs with you, but you cry alone. But why should you cry alone? I don't believe you should cry alone. When you want to cry, you should also have company, because like laughing is an expression of joy, crying is an expression of sorrow. And we know that opposites exist, because there is day, there is night. When I woke up in the morning, it was a gray sky, and now the sun is shining. So both are okay, and we should be, I think, I hope that by the end of this talk, we will all be able to be a resource for each other and ourselves, and know that we can do better than this. And the society is made up of you and me. So if each one of us just shifts a little bit, we can make a huge difference. So there is a certain shame and blame associated with poor mental health. And that is what stops us from asking for help. The first thing is to acknowledge that we live in a society where this is a fact. It's nobody's fault, but that's just the way it is. But it just means that asking for help is difficult for people, and they suffer alone. Okay. So when do we know that we need help? How do we find out? So when any kind of mental state starts to affect our everyday life, that is when we need to ask help. For instance, if we are feeling, so it can manifest itself as feelings, thoughts, behaviors, and we may feel it in our body, although it's in the mind, but we may feel it in the body. So what are the feelings associated with it? Sadness, worrying too much. You may get angry easily. You may constantly feel guilty about something, even when it's not your fault. Things happen. It's not your fault, but you constantly feel guilty about it. You have mood swings going up and down. One minute you're happy, next minute you are absolutely distraught and sad. Feeling helpless, that, oh, I can't make this situation any better. It's never going to get better. Feeling hopeless, that nobody can help me. I'm alone in this. And very irritable. People who are very irritable, there's an underlying dissatisfaction or sadness inside them, which they're not able to handle. And that's why they get irritated. The thoughts, so these were the feelings. The thoughts that can tell you that you may need help are constant self-criticism. That, I'm not good enough, I could be better than this, I could do better, other people's life is a mess because of me. And, nothing is going to be good again. It's loss of memory, forgetting things, not being able to concentrate well like you used to. And confusion, difficulty in making decisions, believing that other people don't like you, So all these thoughts, repeated thoughts, if you get them again and again and again, that may be a sign of poor mental health. Certain behaviors, like spending too much time alone, now of course we have no choice, but we have a choice to connect with other people even in this. And in the new year, they say, what is the best gift you can give to people is your time. No matter what else you give to people, it doesn't mean as much as your time. So think about that in this year. Maybe, time in a way that you feel the other person feels linked with you, even though they're sitting alone, feels connected. Like I feel really connected with you right now. And that helps me a lot. So spending too much time alone, neglecting responsibilities, like I know I should do this, but I really don't feel like it. Loss of motivation, loss of interest, and taking too many risks, risky behavior, like maybe gambling, maybe speeding, maybe drinking too much, drinking. So one of the commonest misunderstandings in our society is that if you are sad, then you drink, and then it helps you deal with your sadness. But actually, medically, I can tell you this, that alcohol is a depressant. So if you are feeling low, the intake of alcohol will probably make you feel worse. It won't make you feel better. Maybe superficially, but inside, it will probably make you. It will definitely make you feel worse. So it's not a remedy. It's a coping mechanism, but recognize it as an unhealthy coping mechanism. Maybe also it's the amount, right? 1 or 2 drinks is okay. Company, it's nice, sociable. But more than that, then maybe it's not very healthy. What are the physical effects of a poor mental health? You may feel really tired all the time. You may feel you have no energy. Yeah. You may sleep too much or too little. You may eat too much or too little. Your weight may go up and down, up and down. You may have unexplained aches and pains all over the body. So these are the physical effects. So actually the mind affects the body and the body affects the mind. So if we have an illness like backache, chronic backache, if you're dealing with joint pains the whole time, it can really get you down because you can't do the things you want to do. So your physical body affects your mind, and how you feel in your mind affects your body. So these are the things that I'm saying. So these are the signs and symptoms that might help you recognize that there is an issue. We don't want to over-medicalize the problem, right? We don't want to say, oh, see, everybody's sometimes irritable, everybody gets angry, so we don't want to over-analyze it and think, oh my God, I have a problem. That's not the point. The point is that when these things are interfering with your daily life, interfering with your ability to work, interfering with your relationships, then it's a problem. So what are the things that make us more prone to having poor mental health? And it doesn't have to be an illness. So we are all on a spectrum. We are all moving all the time. So from a very good place, we might go down and up and down again. So it's not a fixed thing, and it's not an illness as such. Poor mental health is not always an illness. It may be, but it may not be. It may just be poor mental health, right? So the risk factors for poor mental health are, there are many, but I'll just mention the main ones. Exposure to violence and abuse. So it's not even that you were abused, but if you witnessed abuse between relatives, between a servant and a master, between any two people, if you have witnessed it, that itself is enough to affect your mental health. You don't even have to be the recipient of the abuse or the violence. Relationship breakup, as we know, death or divorce of a loved one. Death of a loved one is a really big one, especially now. Bullying and victimization, either in school, even in childhood, bullying can affect you for right through your adulthood. Victimization at work, long-term physical illness, as I said, and if you're a carer for somebody who's not well, that also affects your mind because you're always putting somebody else first. You always, and it's a particular problem with women because they think, in Hindi films, all these Nirupa Roy and all were very, noble mothers. They always put their children first, and they suffered, and that was really good. That's not good. You need to look after yourself to look after somebody else. If your bowl of soup is empty, how are you going to feed somebody else? So your bowl of soup has to be full. You have to look after yourself. And very often carers, mothers are carers also, they care for their children and their husbands, but often their bowls are empty because they don't take the time to fill themselves. And then, they start to feel it. So when you're caring for somebody, make sure you care for yourself. Family history of mental illness may make you more prone to it. Work pressures, immense work pressures. My husband's working from home, but now also he's working till 2:00 sometimes because there's no boundary between work and home. They say, well, everybody's working. Just working. Moving home and countries. I'm sure lots of you have moved countries. We just take it in our stride, but actually it has a huge effect on our minds, especially younger children, their minds. Poverty is a big risk factor because it affects your housing, your social circles. Also, poor families may be exposed to more violence and humiliation. New diagnosis of an illness, such as cancer, or dementia. If you have a new diagnosis, you think, oh my God, my whole life now is going to be different. And that can really have a huge effect. So get the support you need. Recognize these things as a problem. Winter months, of course, and can affect you because there isn't enough sun. Lockdown can affect your mind, in prisons, isolation is one of the biggest forms of punishment. Solitary confinement, isn't it? Solitary confinement is the most severe punishment when you have no other human interaction. And we are actually in that. Okay, we have more choices, but we still don't have enough human interaction. And the other thing that affects our minds in winters is lack of vitamin D. So vitamin D, taking a supplement of vitamin D in the winter months can help us with our mood. So that's one small thing you can do. And what protects us? The things that protect us from poor mental health are stable relationships. What is the atmosphere in your house? Is it happy atmosphere? Is there music? Is there laughter? Is there emotionally, are people engaged with each other? Do they have conversations about how they feel rather than the things to do? We are all overcome with our to-do lists. Ye karna hai, wo karna hai, lots of things to do. But we don't sit down often enough and say, how are you today? How are you feeling? How are you coping with this difficulty? Shall we cook something nice together? Shall we look up a new recipe? Using your imagination, being creative in your relationships, being emotionally engaged is the main thing. Always believing that you belong, belonging to a community, to another human being, being able to contribute. Like, this opportunity means so much to me because I feel, okay, I get to contribute a little bit, and hopefully from the discussions, I will learn from you as well, from your experiences and your sharing. So I look forward to that. Faith and spirituality is a huge thing. What we have just done, meditation, you can see when you came into the meeting how you felt and how you feel after the meditation and the pranayama. So beautiful. Really, meditation is, if you can do it, but of course it's a skill and it takes a while to develop it. You just keep with it, and it really helps with keeping a calm mind and being mindful of your actions, also being aware of how you affect other people, being aware of that, being emotionally aware of yourself as well as others. It's important. Feelings are important. I know when we were growing up, my father was in the army and we moved from place to place every 2 years. But, we never actually talked about how it affected our minds. We just got on with it, And now I think back, I think it was really traumatic. But there was no conversation. It was just normal. That's what everybody did. So that's what you did. But it really affected, the forming attachments and friendships. So having positive social networks, really important. Good housing, having some hobbies like sports, music, reading, films, leisure, walking, whatever. But having some lightness, opportunity to lighten up and laugh and enjoy. So these are the protective factors. So now we know the risk factors, protective factors. Now, if we think we need help, how can we access it? So the first thing is to actually, so the thing is, you may be concerned about yourself or a loved one. And if I will just say about a loved one, if you're concerned about a loved one, you can approach them with love and ask that, what's going on? Tell me. I'm interested to know. If you want to share something, I'm here for you. Just making yourself available with an attitude of not digging your nose into their affairs, but with an attitude of interest and curiosity, and actually an open attitude of kindness and offering yourself as help, that I'm here for you, as a listening ear, as an understanding friend, as a shoulder to cry on. And when they do open up, to listen, really to understand, not to fix, not to give advice, nothing, just to listen. Say, okay. And listen from their perspective, that what are they saying? What are they going? Like, for instance, if a daughter comes to a mother and says, I've just broken up with my boyfriend. She's absolutely heartbroken. And if the mother says, well, good riddance, he's a rubbish boy anyway, I'm so glad you've broken up with him. Does it help her? Doesn't help her. Because she's nursing a broken heart and you're saying it's a good thing. That is because you are thinking from your point of view. You're not thinking from her point of view and understanding that actually this is a painful thing for her. So actually listening to understand, giving support and information, reassurance and hope, saying, don't worry, things will get better. We'll get some information. Internet has a lot of information, be it depression, anxiety, any condition. There's so much information. I will send a list of resources to Pushpaji, and she can then give it out to everybody. So resources, getting support from professional people like your GPs or family and friends, and a lot of self-help things like meditation, yoga, self-help, reading good books, speaking to people, opening up, identifying people you can trust and actually speaking to them. Volunteering yourself for seva, when, the one way to be really miserable, my Guruji, Shri Ravi Shankar, says that one way to be really miserable is to sit and always think about yourself. Say, oh, poor me, but this happened. Oh, this happened to me, and then that happened, and then that happened. Poor me. If you always think about yourself, that is a sure recipe to be unhappy. So actually putting yourself out there and doing things for other people, knowing that they might be in a worse position than you. And then last but not the least, getting professional help. So we've talked about how to recognize poor mental health, risk factors, protective factors. We've talked about getting help. And the time now is exactly 20 minutes from when I started. The last thing I would like to say is that about 6.5 years ago, my son fell ill. So he was at university and I wasn't seeing much of him. And he came home in the summer holidays and he wasn't quite himself. And we got medical help. And despite everything, I don't think that even the medical profession realized how ill he was. And in October 2014, he ended his own life at the age of 20. And his name is Sagar. And through his death, actually, I learned so much. And I realized that I did not know so much. I didn't really know so much. And I could have, he could have had better care if I had known a few things. But, that's it. Life is always teaching us things, even when bad things happen. That's what Lord Buddha has said, when good things happen, learn. And when bad things happen, learn. That's all there is to do, is to learn. So I hope I have said one thing that might make some sense to you. And so I would just say that nobody's immune, young, old, rich, poor, good looking, handsome, talented, whatever. You may be the best, all of us know, I think most of us will know somebody who has died of a mental illness, and we can't understand why would they do that. They had everything to live for. But that is because they, in that state of mind, cannot see that they have everything to live for. And it could be anybody. Nobody is immune. And that is why what we have spoken about today, should be common knowledge. It should be common knowledge, like we know to wash our hands, like that. And I hope that through you and through your friends and families, you will recognize yourself as a resource for your friends and family and for yourself. And that is the aim of this talk. So thank you very much for having me. Questions, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Sangeeta ji. Really, really very, very grateful for your time with us and sharing your knowledge. And now, if anybody has any questions, please unmute yourself. We don't have too much time. Maybe keep it very short. And maybe we have 5 minutes of questions and answers. Thank you.
Namaste, Sangeeta ji. This is Mukundami. We have met many years ago at Rajiv's. I'm very happy to see you again. One of my questions is that amongst our friends and family, we do understand somebody might have a problem or has a problem, but they are in either denial or not able to accept help. What would be our approach in that situation?
I think supporting the carers of the person, I don't have all the answers, but I think that this person is ill, but their family is coping with them, right?
Yes.
Actually supporting the family to help them, because the family is also in a very difficult position and they have to live with it 24 hours a day. So actually being able to support the family, and maybe even with simple practical things like maybe offering to spend time with them in terms of having a meal together, or delivering a meal to their house and saying, you know, I'll cook the dinner today, so don't worry, just take it easy. And actually educating the relatives about the resources, telling them how they can get help for themselves so they can cope better with the situation. And actually just approaching people with kindness, really, so they don't feel judged. The problem with mental illness is that everybody's judging themselves, that it's my fault that I'm ill, that I'm not strong enough to be able to handle this. That is the common understanding, which is really, so if you approach them kindly and say, you know, it can have, it's okay, it's no big deal, you know, we all have ups and downs, it's okay, we can deal with this together, and making the carers feel stronger, I think, will be of a support to them. And maybe encourage them that I will come with you, you know, instead of saying go and see your GP, say I'll come with you, let's go, you know, even meeting them for a coffee, like informally. So offering yourself to accompany them if they want to go for help, so they feel stronger. So it is a tricky one, but I think just small, and it's going to take time to win their trust. You know how long it takes us to trust somebody? So actually win that trust slowly.
Thank you so much.
Sangeeta ji, Biren here. I have a couple of points. First of all, in the Asian community, the expectations and the peer pressure on the youngsters, especially who are studying, I think that's one aspect which needs addressing, because many a times we hear of youngsters committing suicide and taking their lives because their expectations or the family expectations of peers are not met. And secondly, it's good to talk, as we know, and unfortunately with the current IT expansion of everything, people are constantly immersed in their phones, and so there's very little chat going on, and so people can actually express themselves if they've got problems.
It's true. I think peer pressure is a huge thing for all young people, whether they're Asian or not. But I know, but also we as parents also need to look at ourselves and how much pressure we put on our children. And our society does as well, you know, and they put so much pressure on themselves. So I think it's not just other people, because they have expectations of themselves. You know, they say, oh, my father and mother, they worked so hard to bring me up. And, you know, they sent me to this private school and they worked so hard day and night. And they feel obliged to do well. And how much we tell them that, look how many sacrifices I've made for you and look what you're doing, you know. So I think we have to be careful of our language and our the interaction. We need to treat our children with respect, you know. And they are their own people, you know, with their own challenges. They may be born to us, but they are their own people, you know, and they have their own struggles. And to actually be able to recognize that and to walk with them rather than tell them which way to walk.
Namaste, Sangeeta ji. My question is, if the person or the family, if they don't share with much, how can you support? Because the person has already attempted to suicide, but the family not approaching. So how can we support them?
I think it's similar to the answer to the first question, which was that I think because it is such a difficult subject to talk about, I don't blame people when they can't talk about it.
Yeah.
It is a very, very difficult subject to talk about.
Yes.
But approaching with understanding and saying that, you know, many people have that. You're not alone. You know, 1 in 2. It's a very, very common thing. Lots of people have suicidal thoughts and feelings. They don't act on them, but many, many people think about it. So it's not uncommon, you know, and actually saying to the family that it must be very difficult for you. We understand, but I'm here for you, you know, if you need me. And it's very difficult to break that shell because it is made up of shame and blame and horrible, very negative feelings. So it's just a slow, steady process, but small acts of kindness like buying them flowers, or, I don't know the situation, but, going for coffee, offering some snacks, or just making a phone call for no reason at all, just saying Happy New Year, whatever, just constantly being available.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, Sangeeta ji.
Hello.
Namaskar.
Namaskar.
Praveen, very good talk. Lovely. And also to share your sadness of the passing away of your son. My wife, my dear wife, passed away early January last year. So 7th of January next week will be 1 year.
Oh.
And I'm alone at the moment. I've moved into a lovely flat. I'm happy. Not too far from me is my daughter. So there is the support system. However, I feel that I would like to be independent. Don't want to remain on others unless I need it. So at the moment, I would like to become self-sufficient. So I go for my work, I do yogas, I read, and I join the good classes. However, my question is this. My grandchildren, 3 granddaughters here, they are at uni and school, and they were extraordinarily attached to my wife. Same case with my daughters. Even now, they are a bit reluctant to talk. I would like to talk to them open, but they find it very difficult. The grief is so deep and the bleeding is still going on. How can I be of help to them? Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing. That is such a good question. You can be open. Have her photograph in the house. Light a candle in front of it every evening. Talk about her. Say, remember we used to do this. Remember we used to do that. We used to go. But so the more open you are, it'll help them to open up. But I know it's painful to revisit the memories. But that is where the healing is, because they also give you strength. The food she used to cook, the clothes she used to wear, how she used to like to decorate the house, So just little small things. So you keep the conversation about her alive. Say her name. Say her name. What was her name?
Indumati.
Indumati.
Yeah.
Say her name. Put up her pictures. Bring flowers for the picture. Put flowers in front of the picture. Buy the things that she used to like to cook and share them with the family. Say, remember, she used to love to cook this.
Yes.
So
yes.
Her favorite color, whatever it is, just keep her alive in your life with love, holding her with love. But the problem with grief is that it is so, sometimes we forget that actually grief is love. What you're feeling is love.
Although it's now nearly 12 months, I still forget. And sometimes I turned around, I said, I'll ask her, my wife. And this goes on, sometimes.
Yes.
I'm still, when I talk with my friends and relations, I'm quite composed. But when I've finished and alone, then I do actually find that gray and clouds actually envelope, and then the dark envelopes, dark clouds. I do actually feel down, but I do come out of it. And the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita and Vedanta, yoga, and the good companies and the satsang do actually help me. It's a long journey. It's a difficult journey, but it is there.
Yes, and actually, let me tell you, 12 months is nothing.
Yeah.
12 months is very, very, very early still. You're very, very early in your grief. So just be really kind to yourself, Just know that you are going through what is one of the most painful and stressful things in life, is to lose a partner who has been with you all your life. Very, very difficult. So well done for looking after yourself. but bring her into your life, bring her name, celebrate, with love.
Yes.
And you might find it makes it easier.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Sankitaji.
Thank you.
I'm so sorry. I'm sure lots of people want to ask questions, but we have a time constraint, so we have to stop now. And we thank you again, and we hope to have you again sometime in our future programs. Thank you. If you have time, please do remain with us for the rest of the program. Thank you. Now we'll move on for the next session. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. I think now Chandrakantji will be sharing a few words with us.
Have you got time?
Yes, we have a few minutes.
Few minutes.
3 to 5 minutes.
Okay. In Sanskrit, it is said in this way: Sukhasya dukhasya nakopi data, paro dadati iti kubuddhi resha, aham karomiti vrthabhimana, swakarma sutra grathito hi loke. What does it mean? Nobody is responsible for giving you happiness or unhappiness. Nobody is giving you happiness or unhappiness. It's only and only you are responsible for that happiness and unhappiness. If somebody is giving you happiness and unhappiness, and if you are thinking that because of that, I am unhappy or I am happy, that's totally wrong. Sukhasya dukhasya nakopi data parodata ti kubuddhiresha. Aham karomiti. I am doing. I know everything. I can solve this problem. This I capital is important to remove. If we can remove that I, then there is nothing we have to bother. There's another thing, another saying also, Mana eva manushya karanam bandhanam moksham. Mind itself is a cause of to bring you again and again into the existence, and mind is the cause only to liberate you. Now you have to decide that whether you would go for a liberation or whether you want to come again and again back in this world and face this old happiness and sorrow and joy and everything. There's another thing which has been told by the Adi Shankaracharya. He says that Angam Galitam Palitam Mundam Tadanapi Angam Galitam Palitam Mundam. Angam is this body. If this body was nice at 25 years, Angam Galitam, it is already gone now. That's already now white hair, right? Teeth has gone, and shaking, and everything will happen. Angam Galitam Palitam Mundam. I have got some hair already. Angam Galitam Palitam Mundam. Dasanam Enam Jatam Tundam. Vruddho Yati Gruhitva Dandam. Even if I become 80 or 70 or 90 years old and I hold that stick in my hand and just walk along. Vruddho Yati Gruhitva Dandam. Tadapina Munchati Ashapinam. Even though I do not live, that I have to live this all now. Why I should have attachment? So to detach ourselves, this meditation, this pranayam, this yoga can help you. It is only and only one thing can help you, to join yourself with a divinity or divine or Sadguru. If you join with a Sadguru, the power of the Sadguru, when I say Sadguru, say for example, Lord Dattatreya. When I say Lord Dattatreya, any person who knows about Lord Dattatreya, any Hindu all over the world knows about Lord Dattatreya. They might, some people might do not know also, but the people who are on this path, the spiritual path, knows about Lord. So thousands and millions of people knows him very well. And they are attached with him. All the sadhus, all the sannyasis, all the seers, and all the siddhas are with Lord Dattatreya. Now, when you chant the name of the Lord Dattatreya, you are connected with him. So your mind is drawn from all this activity and going to sit within yourself. There's no easy way to leave everything and go inside and find ourselves. So there is a two thing I will say and just finish it off. That if you want to have a peace and happiness, the peace and happiness is not outside. This is one resolution we have to make in New Year. I said last 2 times also, this 3rd time I'm talking about that. The peace and happiness is within yourself. वो शांति, वो सुख आपके अंदर निहित है, बाहर नहीं है. So how we can go inside? So sit with a group as we are having a monthly meditation. Sitting in the group for 60, 70 people or 80 people today are on our group here. Now you chant the mantra, so 80 people's energy is going to be with you. And also, Lord Dattatreya we are chanting the name of the Lord Dattatreya. So who believes in the Lord Dattatreya, who believes in the Bapushri, and all the sage and saints are going to be with you. So you will trance very easily. You will go inside very easily. And all the difficulties, all the mind, which is shattering everywhere, mind is shattering everywhere, will come back. Will come, you can go over the mind, you can go over the intellect, and you can be with yourself. There's no any other way here. That's only the thing I would like to say. Thank you, Sangeeta ji, for your kind approach and good words. Hari Om Tat Sat. Let's go ahead. We are going to have we are going to have next 2 months. Adi Shankaracharya is one of the stotram. Vidya Bhaskarji is going to come and deliver a lecture. It's a wonderful stotram. What I was talking, he will talk more about that stotram next 2 months.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Shall I continue, Priya? Okay, that leads us into the meditation. So let us sit right up, eyes softly closed, be aware of your presence, the group that we are chanting, and the positive energies that has been created by the opening prayers, pranayam, wonderful words of wisdom by Sangeeta ji, Chanakan ji as well. We'll start with praying our offering of the prayers to Lord Ganesha, removal of all obstacles. We start with the new year with prayers to him so he can protect us and protect the entire well-being of everybody in the world. I'll say Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha 11 times. You can also chant, but please stay muted. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha, 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 Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Let us pray in his divine feet for 5 seconds and ask him to grace us with his blessings and the world with his blessings as well. We will now do Guru Vandana, which is prayers to Sadguru, Bapushri, and whichever Guru you also believe in. Shatvarana Mana Gurudev, 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 Sadguru. Shatvarana Mana Gurudev, 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 Sadguru. He Brahma Vishnu Mahesh, He Antarayami Sadguru, Shatvarana Mana Gurudev, 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 Sadguru. He Girinari Gurudev, He Sachidananda Sadguru, Shatvarana Mana Gurudev, 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 Sadguru. He Papaharo Gurudev, He Shraddha Bhakti Badhavo, Shatvarana Mana Gurudev, 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 Sadguru. Jai Guru, 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 Jai Guru. Jai Guru, 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 Digambara, Digambara, Shri Pad Vallabh, Digambara, 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 Shri Pad Vallabh, Digambara. Digambara, Digambara, Shri Pad Vallabh, Digambara, 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 Shri Pad Vallabh, Digambara, 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 Shri Pad Vallabh, Digambara, 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 Shri Pad Vallabh, Digambara. Let us pray in the lotus feet of Sadguru, Guru, Bapushri, whichever Guru you believe in, and let us seek their blessings so 2021 may be a more positive year for everybody and a peaceful, happy, blessed year. We will now chant the mantra, which is Hari Om Tat Sat Jai Guru Datta, which is the mantra granted to Pujya Bapushri by Lord Dattatreya himself for world, individuals' world, spiritual journeys and well-being. The concept is that through chanting this mantra, whichever Guru that you believe in, whichever mantra you believe in, after chanting this mantra, the Sahaj Dhyan or Sahaj Yoga happens automatically. So you don't need to change your Guru, your religion, your caste, your creed, but just attach this in your daily practice. And like Chandrakanji explained, going inwards meditation is one of the ways we can achieve our spiritual journey and inner peace. Hari Om Tat Sat Jai Guru Datta, Hari Om Tat Sat. Jaya Guru Datta. 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 Hari Om Tat Sat. Jai 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 Guru Datta. Hari Om Dansa Jai Guru Datta, 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 Hari Om Dansa Jai Guru Datta. Hari Om Dansa Jai Guru Datta, 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 Hari Om Dansa Jai Guru Datta. Hari Om Dansa Jai Guru Datta, 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 Hari Om Dansa Jai Guru Datta. Hari Om Dansa Jai Guru Datta, 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 Hari Om Dansa Jai Guru Datta. Hari Om Dansa Jai Guru Datta, 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 Hari Om Dansa Jai Guru Datta. Hari Om Dansa Jai Guru Datta, 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 Hari Om Dansa Jai Guru Datta. Hari Om Dansa Jai Guru Datta, 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 Hari Om Dansa Jai Guru Datta. Hari Om Dansa Jai Guru Datta, 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 Hari Om Dansa Jai Guru Datta. Hari Om Dansa Jai Guru Datta, 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 Hari Om Dansa Jai Guru Hari Om Namo Jai Guru Nanda, 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 Hari Om Namo Jai Guru Nanda. Hari Om Namo Jai Guru Nanda, 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 Hari Om Namo Jai Guru Nanda. Hari Om Namo Jai Guru Nanda, 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 Hari Om Namo Jai Guru. Hari Om Namo Jai Guru Nanda, 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 Hari Om Namo Jai Guru Nanda. Hari Om Namo Jai Guru Nanda, 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 Hari Om Namo Jai Guru Nanda. Hari Om Namo Jai Guru Nanda, 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 Hari Om Namo Jai Guru Nanda. Hari Om Namo Jai Guru Nanda, 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 Hari Om Namo Jai Guru Nanda. Hari Om Namo Jai Guru Nanda, 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 Hari Om Namo Jai Guru Nanda. Hari Om Namo Jai Guru Nanda, 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 Hari Om Tat Sat, Jai Guru Datta. Let us close our eyes, sit in meditation, let the meditation happen. Concentrate on the breathing or on the tip of your nose or on your Ajna Chakra and let the meditation happen. Just stay in your Sahaj Avastha, whatever happens, whatever thought comes, let it be, let the meditation happen.
Okay.
20 minutes. We stop our meditation at that point. Continue to sit comfortably and let the meditation.
Shilpagan, we can't hear you.
Let the meditation happen. Close your eyes and be in your Sahaj Avastha.
Shilpagan, we can't hear you.
We'll now sit in silent meditation with the eyes closed. Keep the awareness within. Focus between the eyebrows or observe the breath and allow the meditation to happen. The bell will sound at the end of the meditation. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः Jai Guru Datta. We're deeply, deeply grateful for the last 2 hours that we've had and the words we've heard so openly, honestly, inviting us to go deeper into our connection with ourselves and with each other in the presence of Guru, in Guru's divinity, in the divine self, all around. And we ask we continue in this way in all our actions, all our interactions with each other in this group environment, supported by the mantra and meditation and each other. A few announcements. Next monthly meditation is the first Sunday of February, which is the 7th. So same time again, we will be joined by Acharya Vidya Bhaskarji, and he will be talking on a stotram, the Charpata Panjarika Stotram. So we'll be joined by Acharya Vidya Bhaskarji next month. So please join for that. And then next Tuesday, or this coming Tuesday, and every Tuesday, we are chanting together 30 minutes of mantra jap chanting, Hari Om Tat Sat, Jai Guru Datta. Tuesday, 8:30 to 9 p.m. UK time. This is continuous chanting, simply to raise the vibration, create the energy and vibration together for universal peace and well-being. So please join for that every Tuesday. And then there are, of course, the regular sessions that are going on. There is morning chanting happening every day. There is a session on Monday, Thursday. So have a look on the website, dsym.co.uk, to find out more. If you want to know more about the mantra, about meditation, then have a look on the website or contact anybody from DSYM. The more we chant together, the longer we chant for, the deeper our connection becomes with each other and divine self. And we are all experiencing that. So we're deeply grateful. So now we'll conclude with Aarti. Hari Om Tat Sat, Jai Guru Datta.
आरती करूं तेरी जय जय गुरुदेव हरि दूर ज्ञान ज्योति प्रगटाओ बंधन के ग्रंथि छुड़ाओ ब्रह्मजाल जाय बिखरी जय जय गुरुदेव हरि आरती करूं तेरी जय जय गुरुदेव हरि ओंकार रूप तू देवा कोई नाद ब्रह्म में सेवा हो दिव्य प्रभाधारी जय गुरुदेव हरि कुंडलिनी शक्ति जगाओ प्राणों के शुद्ध कराओ जाय चक्र सभी उगड़ी जय जय गुरुदेव हरि गुरुदेव कृपा हो जावे, सोहम स्वर में लहरावे, निज रूप जाय प्रगटी। जय जय गुरुदेव हरि। हे परम तत्व के ज्ञानी, आनंद ब्रह्म सुख खानी, तुम रूप रूप हरि। जय जय गुरुदेव हरि। दुख द्वंद्व मिटाने वाला, शरणागत के रखवाले, अब दो भव पार करी। जय जय गुरुदेव हरि। आरती करूं तेरी। जय गुरुदेव हरि। मंगलम भगवान विष्णु मंगलम गरुड़ध्वज मंगलम पुंडरीकाक्ष मंगलाय तनोहरि। सर्वमंगल मंगले शिवे सर्वासाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यंबके गौरी नारायणी नमोस्तुते। नारायणी नमोस्तुते। ओम कपूरगौरं करुणावतारं संसारसारं भुजगेन्द्रहारं सदा वसन्तं हृदयारविन्दे भवं भवामि सहितं नमामि। मङ्गलं भगवान् विष्णुमङ्गलं गरुडध्वज मङ्गलं पुंडरीकाक्षमङ्गलाय तनोहरि। सर्वमङ्गलमङ्गले शिवे सर्वासाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरी नारायणी। कालहर कष्टहर दुःखहर दारिद्र्यहर विपत्तिहर भयहर संकटहर, निराशा हर दुराशा हर, हर हर महादेव हर। ओम भूर्भुवस्सु साम्य सदा शिवाय नमो नमः। आराध्य देवता वरदा प्रसन्न। यू कैन टेक आरती, आरती ले लीजिए और दो प्रार्थना कर लीजिए। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव, त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव, त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव, त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव। कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृति स्वभावा, करोमि यद्य सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि। श्री सद्गुरु देव की जय। गजानन गणपति महाराज की जय। हनुमान जी महाराज की जय। रामचंद्र भगवान की जय। कृष्णचंद्र भगवान की जय। आद्य शक्ति अम्बे मात की जय। श्री सद्गुरु देव की जय। श्री गुरुदेव की जय। नमः पार्वती पते हर हर महादेव हर। हरि ओम तत्सत्। जय गुरुदत्त। हरि ओम तत्सत्। जय गुरुदत्त। हरि ओम तत्सत्। जय गुरुदत्त। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सबको।
Jai Gurudev, everyone.
Jai Guru Dutta.
Thank you. Be
Thank
good.
you, Badane. Jai
Stay
Shri
safe.
Krishna.
Yeah.
नमस्ते
Namaste,
नमस्ते
Badane.
गुरुदत्त।
जय
Everyone, thank you
गुरुदत्त
so
टू
much.
सभी लोगों को जय गुरुदत्त।
बधाने हरिओम।
Namaste.
जय गुरु।
जय गुरु जय
Yeah.
गुरुदत्त।
जय गुरुदत्त बधाने हरि ओम।
હરિઓમ બધાને. So nice
Om.
to આપ સત્સંગમાં ખૂબ જ આનંદ આવ્યો. Please be keep well, keep safe.
Hari Om.
હરિઓમ.
हरिओम हरिओम मीराबेन बेन जी हरिओम हरिओम
Gitaji, if you are still here, thank you so much.
हरिओम हरिओम
You're very welcome. It was my pleasure. Thank you.
Hope to see you again.
Jai Guru Datta.
Take care.
जय गुरुदत्त।
Thank you.
जय गुरुदत्त।
Jai Guru Datta.
जय गुरुदत्त।
Jai
जय
Guru
गुरुदत्त। हरिओम
Jai
Hariom
Gurudatta.
Tatsat, Jai Guru Datta Kaka. Thank you.
हरिओम तत्सत।
हरि ओम तत्सत। जय श्री कृष्ण बधाने।
जय श्री कृष्ण। जय गुरुदत्त।
तत्सत। जय
Kaka.
गुरुदत्त।
Jai
नमस्ते
Guru
काका।
Datta. Namaste.
नमस्ते नमस्ते बेन भावना।
नमस्ते हरिओम तत्सत।
जय
जय
गुरुदत्त।
अस्मिता बेन। जय गुरुदत्त।
जय गुरुदत्त।
જય
હરિઓમ દત્ત જય ગુરુદત્ત જય શ્રી કૃષ્ણ કાકા થેન્ક યુ
જય શ્રી કૃષ્ણ યોગિની
હા મજા આવી
સરસ
ચલો બધાને everybody જય ગુરુદત્ત. We'll close the session now. જય ગુરુદત્ત.
Thank you, Badane. Thanks, everybody.